I'm Harlan Coben, and if you know me, you know I love a good plot twist. I'm going to break down some of my favorite twists from the Netflix adaptations of my own books and stories.
He's always got an endgame, and it's never what you think.
Here we go.
Alison, come and join us.
So Runaway had two major twists. One is we were lucky enough to get the actress Ruth Jones to play Elena Ravenscroft, and everybody fell in love with her. And I knew from the very beginning that even though it's 8 episodes, we were going to kill her at the end of 6 episodes, and it was going to be devastating.
No.
Elena's death I had in the novel, but I just wanted this character that we were so in love with, and we were concentrating on another part of the story, and just the tragedy of her being killed, and how much that would up Ash and Dee Dee, who were our sort of crazed villains going around committing some of the murders.
She didn't just kill someone, did she?
The second twist for The Runaway is the very, very last lines. James Nesbitt realizes that not only did Minnie Driver kill Aaron, but unbeknownst to her, Aaron is her own son, and that he and his daughter will forever have to keep that secret away from Minnie Driver's character. They end looking at each other across the table, knowing that maybe for the rest of time, he will have this secret always in the room with them.
Did you see Daddy yesterday when I wasn't here?
When I wrote the novel Fool Me Once, I always know the beginning and I know the end. Nothing is going to surprise me in terms of the ending. It was just sort of how to pull it off, how to keep looking into Michelle Keegan's character of Maya Stern, and yet realize that she is the one who ended up killing her own husband.
He's dead, and he's there on the camera whilst you were in the house.
I wanted a heroine who had done really some things that were kind of unforgivable, and yet we still loved her for it. Some people were asked, why is she trying to find the killer when she already knows she's the killer? But that wasn't what she was trying to find out. She knew that he was dead from the moment she saw him on the nanny cam. The question for her was, who's messing with her head? Who knows enough to be doing this to her? So she knew the only way to figure that out was to play it straight and look for who the killer was.
If I go to prison, then fine. But I just want to show the world what those bastards did.
The end of the story, the other big surprise is that she has to make the ultimate sacrifice to make it right. And, you know, I love that last scene.
Have you thought of a name yet?
Yeah. We're calling her Maya.
The finale of Fool Me Once lands when you realize the emotional impact it's going to have. You have to get the emotion to make a twist really kind of work. You can stir the pulse, you can stir the brain, but if you're not stirring the heart, it's not going to work. It's like you own the most expensive, beautiful car in the world. The heart is the gasoline, the petrol. It's not going to go anyplace without that. Stay Close was fun for me because I wanted to really play with the people who had read the book and know that they figured it out. Here's one of the secrets that I do. I shouldn't be telling you this, but I'm going to. I like to give you 1 or 2 answers that you can get so that you feel good about yourself if you're the kind of person who gets mad if you don't figure it out, and still throw one more at you. So a lot of people, if they'd read the book or kind of guessed Lorraine was the serial killer, even though you loved her and James Nesbitt together, he finds out the truth.
Where did you leave the body?
With the others. Maybe it got washed away, or an animal.
But then you sort of think the book and the story and the TV series is over, but it's not. We added a twist with Carlton, the young man who disappeared in the beginning of the book, and we saw the car being pushed in, and what we learn is Cush Jumbo's husband pushed that car in not knowing he was in the back, and so he actually killed Carlton, and he doesn't know it. It's a secret that also Cush Jumbo on her wedding day has to keep with it. So it's one of those which I love. The story's over. We're having our happy wedding scene, and all of a sudden a bomb just drops on her. And you see the way we filmed it from behind her, that kind of Hitchcockian shot. You just have one more little gasp, and I kind of love those moments if you can have them.
Sorry for arriving unannounced. This is a friend of mine. I think he can help you with Corinne.
The Stranger is one of my favorite novels, and I really love the idea. The couple things that we had done differently here is in the Stranger in the book is male, and I just thought that dynamic wasn't quite working the way I wanted to. And then Hannah John came in to play it. When she entered a room, you just knew something cool was going to happen. She had that hat on, she had that whole thing going on.
Who are you? Why are you saying this?
Think of me as a stranger.
Most of my stories, when somebody's missing, we find them. In this case, we don't. We find that she was killed from the beginning.
Where is she? About here.
and it's heartbreaking and devastating. And we actually see him pulling up the dirt and sort of revealing who she is so that you wouldn't think we were playing some kind of trick, that you would get the emotional resonance.
What about the boys? She's a mother.
The other thing that we did, adding a personal attachment, was we figured a way that the stranger and our lead, played by the wonderful Richard Armitage as Adam Price, were actually half siblings.
Your father is my father.
And it's a little poignant for me to be talking about this now because the actor who played their father was Anthony Head, who many of you know from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or Ted Lasso, just a wonderful man who recently passed away. He was the kind of guy who lit up every room. Everybody loved him. I miss him greatly.
Who's this?
He's my son. He's a pain.
I Will Find You hopefully has a few big twists and turns at the end. What makes a good twist, of course, is you play with expectations. The biggest one is that Hayden, played by Milo Ventimiglia, is the bad guy behind it all.
Everything I've done to be with my son.
He's not your son, Hayden.
He had his reasons, and I hope you kind of understand them.
And when I saw him for the first time, I understood everything.
But one of the great joys of doing this adaptation is when Milo wanted to play this role so badly, and everybody loves Milo Ventimiglia. And so to play against that type and to work it and to have him be seemingly part of the team.
Officers, I saw an armed man over on Broadway. Let's go.
And then at the very end, be able to pull that rug from under your feet.
It's Hayden.
That I credit Milo Ventimiglia and the writers for being able to pull that off in the end. Experience all the twists and shocks of my new series, I Will Find You, only on Netflix.